KCAL rocks. It is Monday, and you know what that means. It's time to talk sports with our guy, Pep. What's up, Pep?
Hey, good morning, Patrick. Good morning to all the KCAL rockers out there. We are getting closer to reopening. Again, more sports. We're seeing it happen right before our very eyes. We're seeing more sports, not only here in the United States. I want to say it was New Zealand, where they actually had like a sold out stadium. I think it was a rugby match because New Zealand, from what I understand, has zero coronavirus cases. Like whatever they did, they squashed it, and now they've got like full on sports, no restrictions, packed houses. Like so, it's possible. It could happen for us too.
They did. They went complete shutdown, and it paid off.
Yes. So
That's good.
yeah. Hopefully, the United States is trending in that direction as well, so we can get fans back in the house and cheer on our favorite sports teams. I think we could all use that right about now.
Absolutely.
Especially for the NFL season, man. We want to have a fun football season, that's for sure. But there were some other things locally that kind of caught my eye as well. So California Baptist University, they announced that their men's and women's basketball teams will be back on campus beginning July 12th. So that's in a
Okay.
couple weeks. So July 12th, the CBU basketball back on campus. Their coaches will be back and they'll start their practices again. On the flip side, the CIF, and this is from the state office. So this is not the CIF Southern section for our schools, not only in the Inland Empire, but all of Southern California. No, this is coming from the state office, so all of California. The CIF for high school sports has said that they will not make a determination of when sports will resume or how they will resume until July 20th. So that's like another month or so. So we don't know what high school might look like.
I think because part of the problem is, and this is going to be a reoccurring theme in all the stuff we talk about, is the feared second wave. And I think these guys think there may be a second wave coming, so they're going to wait another month to see how it acts.
You're exactly right, Patrick. I think there's two things in play, and this is not only just for high school sports, but any sports at any level, but just more so at high school because we're talking about kids here. A lot of them are under 18, and nobody wants the blame, right? And that's the question I get a lot actually from high school football coaches is, okay, what if we start the season and everything's good, but then you have a couple players on your team test positive or a coach? Like, where do you go from there? And if things did take a turn for the worse, and heaven forbid it doesn't, but if it did, you know, they're gonna play the blame game. Like, did the principal say it was okay? Was it the CIF? Was it the athletic director? Like, nobody wants that.
No, it's going to be a huge issue. It is really, really such a freaking mess. There's no way out.
No, there is no way out, and there's no easy solution. I've heard from some teams saying that if they started the season and everything was good, but they had a player or players or a coach or whatever come up positive, that they would just treat it like the flu. Like, hey, go home. Go home, get better. When you're better and you're quarantined for a week or two, then come back and rejoin the team. Because, again, I think what's playing in the favor, at least of high school sports, is that it looks like if you're under 18 years old with no other, existing medical conditions, you're pretty invincible. It'd be very, very rare for someone to come down with a bad case of the coronavirus. That's at least what the medical information is telling us right now. So that's what's playing in their favor. But still, at the end of the day, if you start the season and someone tests positive, nobody wants to be blamed for saying, well, you told us to start the season. You told us it was okay.
Right. The problem is no matter how well you deal with it, it's who you can spread it to. And here we are. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's just the vicious cycle.
Yep, you're exactly right. Because think about it, there will be some older coaches out there
Right.
with the younger players. So there's a lot of things to consider and play in here. So that's where high school sports is. July 20th, they'll make a determination on when they will start the season. Also got a little bit of baseball news, a little bit of NASCAR news, a little bit of golf news. It's all brought to you by Matheson Gas. They are the gas professionals. 3 locations across the Inland Empire, Rancho Cucamonga, Fontana, and Riverside. So if you need gas for your backyard, your business, let Matheson Gas hook it up for you. You can go to their website online right now. That is mathesongas.com. They are the gas professionals. That's Matheson Gas. So the big news on baseball is there is no news. And No, Patrick, when you whittle this kind of down, is that the season is getting more and more condensed. First it was like 100, I think it was 114 games, and then it was like 90 games, and now we're hearing like 78 games, and now I heard like 50 games. Like we're not going to have hardly any baseball this year.
And I'm telling you, here it comes again, rearing its ugly head. The feared second wave is a big thing for baseball. I have a friend who actually works with the Seattle Mariners, and from what he is hearing from the owners and stuff, is they're trying to get the least amount of games to get this season in and done before the feared second wave, which he says they're saying is going to be worse than the first.
Man, I hope
that's just what I'm hearing.
Yeah, no, I know I'm not going to kill the messenger over here, but I hope that's not true. But you're right, because all these different scenarios that they have the season ending before winter, because we talked about baseball maybe going deep into the winter, like having a Thanksgiving World Series, and they're like, no, we got to end this thing as quickly as possible, because again, like what you said, what if there is another spike? And they do not want to be playing baseball if there's another spike.
I don't want there to be, but unfortunately, I keep hearing it, and I hate hearing it. But I'm thinking that there's a lot of really smart people who are saying, and the numbers are spiking, so that's starting to make me think that they know something that we kind of don't.
Man, you're probably right, but I hope you're wrong.
Me too.
Let's make a left turn to NASCAR. NASCAR continues to roll on. It was Denny Hamlin taking the checkered flag yesterday at Homestead, which is Miami. And here's the cool thing here, Patrick. They had 1,000 fans in attendance. I think it was first responders and military members. But they actually had people, social distancing, of course, in the stands at Miami.
It was awesome. It's cool to see that, right? It's cool to see at least some fans, and especially them, how cool for them. They need it. But also, Denny Hamlin did a little Jordan shrug after he can't control it. He can't control the excellence that he puts out.
Oh, man, I love the Michael Jordan shrug. Like, it just is what it is, right? So we had 1,000 fans there at Homestead, Miami. Then the next Cup race is Sunday at Talladega in Alabama, and they said they're going to have 5,000. And this will actually be, they said, the general public. How they select the general public, I don't know. But they said about 5,000 fans, and Talladega holds about 78,000. So plenty of room for social distancing at Talladega.
Make sure and stay safe. I'm scared.
Yeah. And finally, the PGA returned over the weekend at the Charles Schwab Challenge in Fort Worth, Texas. No fans, and even better, no positive cases. So they tested all the golfers, their caddies, staff, no positive cases, and they got the whole tournament in without a hitch, and I think everything went pretty well from what it sounds like.
Everything went well, including right away, right when I tuned in, because I just kind of wanted to see it, because I was like, I'm not a huge golf guy either, but it was on, and right away Jim Nance was like, we want to apologize for that F-bomb. Because it was like a live F-bomb. I was like, yes, it's back.
Yeah, I don't think anybody even really cares at this point. They're like, you know what? It's golf. It's not going to be perfect. we'll take it.
What do we say, Pep? Golf is a 4-letter word.
Certainly is in a lot of cases. You hear a lot of those on the course, man. None of us are very good golfers. I can tell you that. That's for sure.
Pep, tell me how to get your stuff.
Inland Sports. If you go to Inland Sports right now on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, we reposted a link from this. It was a great brawl between the High Desert Mavericks and the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes, because I interviewed a guy named Adam Quintana, who was a pitcher involved in that, and we kind of rehashed that whole thing. So go to Inland Sports if you like baseball brawls.
Thanks, Pep. Perfect.